Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our weekly series where we discuss about the various different projects which have been done by our data specialists. Today, we are going to talk about the project of medical inventory optimization. And to explain this project, joining us today, we have Vipin. Good evening, Vipin, and welcome back.
Thank you. Aditya.
So, Vipin, why don't you explain to our viewers about this project that you have worked on? I'll let you take the lead on this.
Okay. Sure, Aditya. So, friends, we are working. So, the business problem here is about a problem that our client was leading, which is a leading hospital chain in India, and it's for their pharmacy that we're looking at. The problem with the pharmacy is that they're having very high bounce rate where the customers who are coming to the pharmacy were being turned away or being not able to get the. Okay, so they were not being made available the medicines in certain point of time because of some surge in demand. So that was the business problem, and the objective and constraint we were facing was we had to minimize this bounce rate of customers, and when it comes to constraints, it is we have to make sure that the inventory cost was also less. So just because we wanted to minimize bounce rate, if we kept on buying medicine, that would be a challenge, right? So we had to minimize inventory cost. Here, the success criteria are according to business and economic as well as machine learning. So when it comes to business success criteria, we had to reduce this bounce rate by at least 30%. And with regards to economic, we had to make sure that the revenue rose by at least 20 lakhs. And when it came to the machine learning success criteria, we were looking at forecasting. So the evaluation metric for this that we're going with is MEP. And we wanted to make sure that it is less than 10%. And this is about the project scope. Now, coming to the model architecture, where we will see the flow of a project. Now, this data that we had was structured data, and it was made available to us by the client in our RDBMS through the RDBMS. So we had to connect to the RDBMS, and we had to retrieve the data. And as it was pharmacy sales data, there was a lot of discrepancies and errors which are there, and a lot of data type change and all. We had to do a lot of pre-processing steps, and in that you could see that we had to deal with a lot of outliers, and the data which we were dealing with was longitudinal data to make sure that we had to convert this in time-based or time series data, and then we had to do data scaling normalization. We had to handle the categorical data, and missing data was also there. So we had to tackle all that, and then we had to do the analysis. Now, since we had to reduce this bounce rate, we had to do a forecasting, because only when we do the forecasting, we'll be able to find out how much quantity was required in the coming months or the coming weeks. So we had to do for both. We tried to find out for weeks as well as months. Now, when it comes to weeks, although the forecasting was, it was not really effective, but month-wise, it was giving us good results. So we went with that, and we had to do a bit of hyperparameter tuning. And here, the models that we used, we had initially started with the machine learning models and time series models as well, but the result that is the MEP wasn't that satisfactory. So we had to go to the neural networks, and we had to use a lot of RNN models. And what we did is we used about 5 to 6 RNN models, and whatever forecasting value that we got, we converged using an ensemble model. Gradient boosting is what we went with, and surprisingly, we were able to get better results. And as the MEP that we were looking for to achieve was about less than 10%, and we were getting much better results than which was around close to 2% to 3%. And we had deployed this model that we come up with using Streamlit and in AWS, and that is about the project architecture. Coming to our deployment, I will just show you how it is deployed. So you see the Streamlit app that we have. We take the drug name and we'll try to forecast the drug name for forecast for the next coming 3 months. And we were able to get the forecast for the next 3 months. And you could see the MEP score is also significantly lower than what we were planning to get. Yeah, that's about it, Aditya.
Yeah, Vibin, thank you so much for that brief and detailed explanation. So before we sign off, guys, I would like to talk about a few things that we offer. We are looking at mind map, which will help you internalize the various different concepts. We have the ML architecture assessment, which you saw an example of today, where Vipin was talking about the various steps he took as part of his project. And we also have the resume optimization hub, which will help you in enhancing your resume based on the job description. And of course, we also have the animated insight series, which will give you a visual explanation of the various different concepts that we cover as part of our course. So, thank you so much from everyone who has joined in today. And thank you so much, Vibin.
Thank you, Aditya.
Yeah. So please do follow us on our social media platforms, which is our LinkedIn, our Instagram, and YouTube for further such content. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you, everyone.